Previously, on the One-Eyed Film Podcast.
Do you know that this is a fake room? Like, did you know that? No, okay. Just sometimes I don't know if it's convincing or not, or if I push the fabric of reality. What is your favorite movie, and what do you think is the best movie of all time?
X-Men Origins Wolverine is not my favorite.
Things like Willow. They just made Willow, the new version of Willow, and then they didn't like it, and they wiped it completely from Disney Plus.
What are you talking about?
The what now?
I don't understand. The Willow TV show? I've never heard of it.
If purchasing isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. And I was like,
that is true.
Yeah.
If no one owns it, or wait, I'm thinking of like a syndrome.
Yeah.
If everybody owns it, nobody owns it, or I don't know. Yeah.
If everyone's super, no one is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Are you watching closely?
Okay, so my answer to the question. Drum roll.
Before you get that.
Well, actually, have you considered?
Now that I think about it.
Yeah. My favorite movie of all time is Alien.
Oh.
And
Who directs that?
Ryan Johnson? I think Ryan Johnson did that.
I'm sorry.
Ridley
On our last
Scott?
episode, I said Ridley Scott 117 times, and so Andrew's making fun of me with it. So
Truly,
all right.
he was
Continue. I apologize.
He was beating the almost dead horse of Ridley Scott.
The almost dead self of Ridley Scott.
Sorry.
Wow.
So that's my favorite movie of all time. I would say near perfect movie in its execution. Very wonderful, beautiful, amazing, and horrific story. I like horror movies. And you can tell that by, I think, the best movie ever. The best movie that I've ever seen is The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Okay.
Which we did talk about The Shining relative to book adaptations, and it's not a particularly good book adaptation.
But it's a good
But
movie.
it's an excellent movie.
Yeah.
Whoa, is it good? So that's an opinion there. But yeah, I would say favorite movie, Alien. I've got my Romulus comic here.
Ooh.
On display. It's a one shot like prologue to the movie, Alien Romulus.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, if you like Alien, how have you thought the recent editions have gone? Because I'm asking you as the person who probably knows more about the franchise than I do, and I have only heard secondhand things of like, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, if you're around Star Wars, you know that a fandom that's been around for a while can grow very sour to new content, right? And they get that way just when something is new. They're like, no! So I will say that if there are purists out there who don't like the new stuff because it's new, or they don't think it did well, or they don't think it's written well, I would point them to Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. Like, those are not great movies. Alien 3 is fun. Alien Resurrection,
It's,
you know?
I think Alien Resurrection, I think, starts off really cool. I love like the smugglers. Like,
I mean,
the
it's
craft,
a cool concept,
but it gets so weird so quick.
So just the fact that like I push back against people not liking the new iteration or like new additions to the story because that's not what I grew up with, or that's not what they used to do, or whatever. I think that's silly. Prometheus was very strong. I think stronger than people. Well, I think this is a popular opinion now. Prometheus is better than what people thought it was, or when it first came out. It didn't receive the credit that it was due. Covenant was a really poor pivot I think the studio got really scared after Prometheus and said, we can't continue on this trajectory. So it's a big stumble. Like you can tell that they're kind of reeling a little, trying to do something cool and interesting. It's fails at doing that well, I guess.
Yeah.
Alien Romulus is my third favorite Alien movie. So it's Aliens, with James Cameron, I know, and then Alien Romulus. I just love the, like, what's it called? That retro cassette analog feel of space travel.
Yeah.
Like when you click on a monitor for your spaceship and it goes and a line splits the screen, it goes and fills it like it's green. Oh, I love that aesthetic.
Yeah.
So Romulus brought it back. I thought it was a terrific movie. It was deeply horrifying, especially at the end, which is what it needs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm very excited for the future. We have Alien Earth coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Probably an Alien versus Predator movie in the future. Again, which would be cool.
Zach and I were actually talking about the possibility of franchises collabing or crossing over, and how you brought up the interview with James Gunn, who said that his talks with Kevin Feige have included Marvel versus DC in some way. Not that they're going to happen or anything's been announced, but they have talked about it because James Gunn has worked for Marvel. So I think that would be fun once the DC universe gets its feet underneath them. But yeah, just the Alien and Alien versus Predator, especially having a movie like that already, is just fun to see fandoms collide, even though they're probably very similar fandoms.
Are there?
Yeah.
Because there's like a trilogy of Alien versus Predator movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are those like canon to the main Alien movies, or?
There's Alien versus Predator, Alien versus Predator 2. Those, that's a great question. So the canon is tough.
Nerd out, Andrew.
Well, I was going to say, for me, Lord of the Rings, you Alien, it's like, how much do I say? Like, how much do you actually want to know?
Heath likes the Alien versus Predator movies more than I do. The canon is like iffy, and I would say, depending on what Alien Earth does this summer, could retcon Alien versus Predator 1 and 2.
Interesting.
Well, technically, Prometheus and Covenant has already rewritten AVP. Because Wayland is in.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we're gonna have a side podcast.
That's okay. Go for it.
Man.
Welcome to your feature presentation, where we get to
They're pretty much out the door. They're just fun. I would say that they're just fun movies. I don't think that.
I think the second one's trash, but especially the first one is so fun. Yeah. It's not amazing. It's light. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah. I think PG-13 too, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
A guy uses an inhaler to fight a predator, so that's cool.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It's pretty sick.
I'm glad you were passionate about that. Maybe that will make me want to watch them finally.
I feel like Seth's like, oh gosh, this guy.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad we have the opportunity to nerd out about stuff like that. But
so have you guys haven't seen any Alien movies?
I haven't seen any of them.
No,
okay. You guys don't seem like the horror type.
No, well, not really. I was tempted to see Alien Romulus because people said it was good, but I felt like I was going in without proper backstory. And also, we are a little bit younger, and we just are kind of like we grew up watching Marvel in theaters rather than stuff like Alien or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we'll get around to them in our lifetime, in our short lifetime here on Earth.
It's Andrew, would you say Alien would be your biggest suggestion for people who haven't seen any of those movies?
Oh yeah, the first one for sure.
Starting with Alien,
yeah. It's a, like I said, it's a near perfect movie. It doesn't get scary for like 30 minutes, bro. Come on, 40 minutes maybe.
I can take it, and then I'll be doing like the.
Honestly, I think if you watch the first 30 or 40 minutes and you fall in love with the aesthetic, the visuals, the practical effects, the sound design, all of those things, I think you will get through the scary parts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Alien Romulus, different story. Genuinely a very just frightening movie.
Yeah. Because it's different because it's spanned so many eras of filmmaking that the style has changed. Is that something to do
they're
with
just really Fede Alvarez is really good at scaring people.
Yeah, he
and
is.
grossing people out. Like, it's disgusting. There's my wife has sworn that movie off. We saw it in theaters and it finished. We both like scary movies. We go see them together. We watch them at home and we could just do it on a dime. We'll sit down and be like, scary movie or rom-com? And we're like, oh, scary movie today. And the movie ended and she looked at me and she's like, I'm never watching this movie ever again. And I was like, I understand. I get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romulus, the ending scene for you guys, it's unsettlingly freaky. Like it was
so good, though.
It wasn't, there was a jump scare, but it was just like, and I think, you just like, it's done so well. I think that's what's cool about it. It's just like,
well, I just keep up with people like Corridor Crew online, and they've talked a lot about Alien, the different ways they've done CG, especially with, I believe, Romulus returned to some special effects on set and all that.
Practical, yeah.
The way that looks on screen elicits different responses. I would say that older movies probably make you think more that it's a movie, and so you're not supposed to be scared, whereas modern movies can get you into that space of like really drawing you in with how much is at our disposal to make the movie the best it can be. And maybe that's some of the difference between, what was it, 79 versus now.
1979.
so you're watching Star Wars in 77, Lord of the Rings, rotoscoping in 78, and Alien in 79.
That was quite the year.
Yeah.
Or quite the 3 years. Yeah. Oh, the last thing I was going to say about, since we've been talking about Alien for so long, my favorite meme about Alien was some guy on Letterboxd said, I love this movie, 9 out of 10, but I wish there were more of the creatures. And then his next review was Aliens. It's like, oh my gosh.
That's another. Well, we don't need to keep talking
That
about
one made
Alien.
me cough. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Watch his Aliens. Guys, you're never going to believe this.
Guess what? There's more. Zach, what are our picks again for best movie and favorite movie? I think I said National Treasure is my favorite just because it's my guilty pleasure for nostalgia when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then either that or Avengers Endgame. Again, this is my childhood of I think my 18th birthday was when Endgame came out. So that was pretty special.
Heath was already 42 years old, but
Yeah, that's true. I've got Benjamin's Buttons disease. So. A reverse, but
somebody can fact check me for what I said in previous guest episodes, but I think the best movie is probably either Empire or Fellowship, just because it's beautiful. There's so many things you can go into, whether it's the lore of the world, the behind the scenes. The extra features are just as long as the movie because there's so much heart put into it, and even down to the picture or shot of the costume designers putting together the links of the chainmail for like a whole army is crazy to understand that they really believed in the art of the movie. And that was kind of before the turning point when it kind of became a lot more slop than art. And it was probably peak. And Empire is just great because of story. The way it changed cinema. So yeah, Zach, what are your answers?
Well, my answer for favorite movie is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah,
it's a movie.
nice.
When I went into it originally in theaters, I didn't have much expectation for it at all. I was just kind of like, oh, it's just animated Spider-Man movie from Sony. How good is it going to be? And then I was totally blown away. As a guy who just love Spider-Man, this just really felt like a movie for me, just exploring all the different versions and just the story they were able to tell about Miles was just so well done, and the animation style and everything looking like a comic book was so cool. So, yeah, that's my favorite movie. And then I say Interstellar, I think, is the best movie, in my opinion.
Uh-oh.
I think that was my answer last time, and now I
Andrew hates
to answer
Interstellar.
I've heard this.
Get after him.
Did we talk about this last time?
I think we did.
Oh, okay.
Was it because of the emotion or something else?
Because Andrew
No.
has none. Yeah.
I'm a deeply emotional person. I think it's an external force ruined it for me. I didn't watch it within the first year that it came out. That's an estimation. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But when I did watch it, like the amount of people that were just like, this is going to change your freaking life. Like everything is different after I watched Interstellar. I was like, wow, I had such high expectations, like unearthly expectations. They were just in the atmosphere. Like they were halfway to Mars. Or whatever planet he goes to.
LV-426.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
That's the alien planet homework.
Yeah.
For you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just set up for failure. There's nothing against Christopher Nolan. He's an amazing writer, director, everything. It is a good movie. It's such a good movie. I know that. But my experience of it is like pretty bad. I don't enjoy watching it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about our Nolan Bros group. One of us is working hard all summer, and we have one Nolan movie left to talk about, and it's probably his least known, Insomnia, which I have never watched. Yeah, it's got Robin Williams and someone else. That's Al Pacino and Robin Williams.
Whoa,
and
weird.
I know nothing about it, so I'm actually excited to watch it. I think he hits it out of the park with 90% of his the things he makes.
90%, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
I get Zach riled up saying I love Tenet so much because
I think Tenet was better than Interstellar.
yeah,
Shots fired.
Bye,
yeah.
guys.
I know.
I'm leaving.
It's Nolan. It's always good, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
true.
the Tenet's where I'm like, it just feels so contrived to me
Yeah. It
that I'm
does.
just like, we get it. But
I do think that he has these inklings of ideas that he just produces into full-length movies. I think Memento is probably one of the greatest examples of that. Next to, Inception is another one. It's his theme is like, what if this, and then he writes a 2-hour movie about it. But Memento is one that uses the movie format to tell a story that I think is so great. And he has those ideas and he can execute them because these studios will give him a blank check to do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
and I'm
pretty
really
much.
excited for the Odyssey.
Same.
He got that filmed so fast. I thought they just started, and then I heard that they wrapped. They're just so efficient, and I'm sure it's because he's at the head of it all.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
He's made a movie or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that when we or Zach and I haven't talked much about this, but the Bible is Funny podcast with Anthony Russo. He does Christian movies are funny every once in a while, and he's like, yes, we're gonna rip on this movie, but it's a lot of work to make movies, so we're gonna give them the grace they need because it is difficult. And I made a few short films in college, actually with Zach, and they're not easy to get done. Imagine doing massive blockbusters to release for everyone to critique for years to come. It's a lot of pressure, and I think Nolan does it well. Zach, you had something?
I was going to say my biggest issue with Tenet is that it seems like in most Nolan films, he's able to balance concept and character pretty well. if you know what I mean. Like, if you watch Inception, you get connected with Cobb, and you can feel for Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch Interstellar, you can get connected with Cooper, and you feel for Cooper. But with Tenet, the character doesn't even have a name. So
Yeah, it's just protagonist.
yeah, he's just protagonist, and he barely does anything worth connecting with him emotionally about, in my mind. So that's one of my biggest critiques of that movie.
I'll give you that.
So this is an interesting thing to point out, because I think that the reason I liked Tenet so much was because I had just, I don't remember, like 6 to 9 months before, watched a movie called Malcolm and Marie. I think it was a Netflix exclusive. It had John David Washington and Zendaya. They're the only two actors in it. It's a black and white drama. And you basically watch them. They're a married couple who live in LA. They drive. The opening shot is them driving down their driveway to come home after a party, and they fight for 90 minutes, almost 2 hours.
That's the movie?
That's the whole movie, is their whole
crazy.
basically uncut. I don't know if it's actually like, it's not a oneer, but like their whole argument. And that sent John David Washington over the edge for me, for one of the greatest actors I've seen in a movie. He was so good. So Zach, you say you didn't feel like you could connect with the protagonist. I felt a connection to him as an actor, and I love the heck out of Robert Pattinson. I mean, I'm a ridiculously huge Robert Pattinson fan. So those two guys in that movie, I think they sold it for me already.
Yeah.
But Malcolm and Marie, that was a really interesting concept for a movie.
I've never heard of it, and it's on my watch later list.
Hey, there you go. Great.
Sold me.
I will say Robert Pattinson is like my favorite part of that movie. So I will say that.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as Twilight. To me,
Almost.
He doesn't quite hit that level, but
Yeah, dude, just when he holds Bella back after she finds out that Jacob imprinted on Renesmee, ridiculous.
Yeah.
What a good moment for him.
that's crazy.
Strong.
I hope I never have to watch the Twilight movies. I don't think
Oh,
my
they're
wife.
so funny.
I don't think my wife
They're so
wants that either. But I'm sure they're funny now. But like, if they were supposed to be serious adaptations of the story, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what
Keith
I'm
has
talking
read all of the books, so get him.
Yeah.
I've read a couple, not all of them.
There are only a couple of the books.
Is there 4, right?
Yeah.
So I've read 3. So you could say I've read most of them.
That's a passing grade.
Yeah.
3 out of 4.
I tried to fight it, but I was like, yeah, I read them. Like, I didn't know what they were getting into. Like, but it's like, yeah, the romance books. I read them. What am I going to say? That's
sure.
You know, I got to own that. So
Yeah. I was thinking about Robert Pattinson being so diverse, and I know I'm going to eat my words because I said I was so excited for Mickey 17, and yes, it's not completely original because it's an adaptation, I think, but I never saw it in theaters, and that I'm the reason it bombed. I'll take responsibility for it. Yeah. But I do want to see it because people said that even within the movie, he gets different parts of the characters to be different, even though they're technically the same because they're clones. I don't know. I need to watch it. But also considering that he's done the Batman, and Twilight really is what people used to know him for, but now he's known as kind of the guy who will do whatever. I watched a video essay on an indie film, and by indie I mean like not A24, like indie. They spent maybe $50,000 on the movie, and they got him to play it even as after Twilight, just because he wanted to be a part of the movie, and he knocked it out of the park, and they made a lot of money off of it. So I think he's one that is kind of like, he's not Christian Bale in that he's a method actor, but he can melt into the role that he's given very easily.
Yeah,
and
his range is crazy.
And I think he's just beginning. I don't know how old he is, but I think he's got a long way to go.
Yeah. I would say the standout moment for me when I realized that Robert Pattinson was an incredible actor was Good Time. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I've heard of it.
No.
It's basically him and his kid brother are like, they live and have grown up in a really bad neighborhood. They're both like drug addicts and kind of dealers ish, but it's a really great drama of, I wish I could remember what year that came out. And if I'm misspeaking, I don't mean
2017.
to. 2017.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like, I watched him in that, having only seen him really in Twilight, and I was like, wait a second, this guy is like, he's the man. And then after that, he did The King, he did The Devil All the Time, and The Lighthouse, and I was like, yep, all right, you got me.
Yeah. He's going places if he hasn't already gotten there.
He's there.
He's there.
He is the place.
Well, I think that there's more for him, even beyond the Batman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if we're moving on too quickly, but I was going to get into DC a little bit before we're done.
Cool.
Superman coming out in a little over a month.
July 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited. I think that's the one movie this year. I think that sounds right. I think it's the one movie this year I will be there opening night, Thursday night, because they released it one night over. Zach will probably be with me because he's looking forward to it too. And just the reason I'm here from Robert Pattinson is because Zach and I have talked about, yes, Gunn has said that the Batman is Elseworlds project, but I think it is possible that he becomes the Batman of that can talk to David Cornsweat's Superman. I don't know. I think that there's Zach doesn't think so.
Zach says no.
I think because how the Batman looked great. It was the darkest Batman they've made versus how Superman is looking to be, which is very bright, embracing the comics. Having those two polar opposites in movie style shows how different the characters are from each other and how they play off of each other in the comics, in the animated shows. And yes, it's sort of a opposites attract where they're going to mesh well together. Now James Gunn could make another Batman who's just as dark, but I personally think that he should just roll with what he's got, even if it was before he's got to let go of some of his ego of what he thinks should be in his cinematic universe. But yeah, I don't know. Have you guys talked about DC much on your pod?
I think that the delay of Batman 2, Matt Reeves' second Batman movie, might have convinced me that James Gunn won't go with Robert Pattinson, because I was holding that hope for a long time. I don't think he's going to do it. No.
But why do you think the delay suggests that? Because in my mind, I hear delay. Maybe they added more to it to make it connect, to make it more intertwined with DCU.
That's a good point. I suppose I hear a delay and I think, we're having problems. There's pushback on stuff. No, you can't have this character. You can't have that character. You can't include this in your story because we're doing something bigger over here.
Sure.
So it's like, you need to get rid of X villain or whatever. How many Jokers can we actually take? The State Farm commercial just did us dirty, and that was incredible. Now we don't get that guy again, Yeah. So
yeah. Gosh, that State Farm commercial was
that was awesome.
Came out of nowhere and
good.
everyone loved it. It was really
It's
fun.
like, why is this the best Joker we've ever seen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was someone who's like, I'm sick of Batman. I was one of those people who's like, I was refusing to watch the Matt Reeves Batman because I'm like, how many times do I have to see Bruce Wayne's parents die?
That's
like,
true.
I just, but I finally watched it and like, I loved it. I think it might be my favorite Batman movie. We've talked about this, right, Andrew? That's like, I would argue that Dark Knight is the Joker's movie kind of thing. I think as a Batman centered character, I think it's my favorite, but done so well. I would love it if it was connected, but I'm really excited for Superman. I've always been a huge Superman fan, the original Superman, the movie. And I'm excited to see that. Like, I feel like we're in a prime place for we need a hero.
I am that
we need a Boy Scout hero
Yeah.
again. Like, I am tired of these anti-heroes right now. Like,
Yeah.
I
They need
think,
somebody who's strong and
Yeah.
fresh from the fight. He's
yeah,
got to be
and-
fast. He's got to be strong. Footloose? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not familiar.
What?
Uh-oh. I hear it.
I
Smell
understand
an
the
upcoming
concept.
podcast.
Dude. Just listen to the song.
Well, I'm familiar with the song. I
Okay,
haven't seen the movie.
Well,
The
Heath,
guy
when-
from X-Men First Class? Is that who
Yeah.
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Heath, when you said we need a hero, I just in my head I heard, I am that hero. Which I do think the Larry Boy movie is still coming out.
Oh,
the
that's
future,
crazy
good.
too.
That'll be
You're
in.
joking.
You didn't hear about this?
No.
There's a
Do they have
theatrically
hands?
released Larry Boy movie coming
We
out.
don't know anything. This was announced a long time ago. Still set to release next year.
I hope they don't have eyebrows.
But
That's
I don't know
crazy.
if it's the old style, new style, who's behind it.
I mean, Larry Boy versus the Rumor Weed was a classic. That was a classic in my eyes.
Yes. Let's finish up by this is a new one I might add consistently if we can keep having guests. What are you most looking forward to this year in releasing? Yes, we're already. This is going to come out right before June, so we're already partway through. But what are you looking forward to?
Alien Earth.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to Alien Earth since I walked out of the Romulus Theater. I was like, more. It's teaser city over here. We've got like 5 teasers for Alien Earth and no trailer. So that's
Yeah.
I just can't wait.
What's the third one I'm forgetting in July? There's Superman, Fantastic Four.
Jurassic World.
Oh, Jurassic
Jurassic
World.
World.
Was it called Jurassic Park Rebirth or Jurassic World Rebirth?
Jurassic World.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
Weird.
I think it's always a toss up because I think Fantastic Four looks really interesting. And honestly, Thunderbolts got me really excited for the next Marvel movie. Same thing. Honestly, I think Captain America 4 was like, it was not great, but like, okay, let's see what they do next. And then Thunderbolts, really liked it. So I am excited for the next Marvel movie. But yeah, I think Superman. I think that's going to be the thing. And especially with James Gunn, because I think that has the best opportunity to be the best movie. Because, I mean, he's such a good director and Fantastic Four director. I can't remember his name, but is fairly unknown. So, but yeah,
I think
Superman.
it's Matt Shackman who directed WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So some good, some bad. Depends on which episode, I guess, or all the episodes.
Like I said, I think I'm looking forward to Superman the most.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what else is dropping, but I'm just going off of what I'm looking forward to, not most. But F1, I think I'm not an F1 guy at all, but I think the F1 movie is going to be a lot of fun because zoom zoom cars go fast, as my wife says.
It looks sweet. I'm totally in. That trailer got me when it was just sound effects of cars, and I'm not a car guy, and like it awakens something in my soul, and I'm like, I think I'm a car guy now. So
Yeah, it gets the testosterone pumping.
yeah, for sure.
Zach,
I mean,
lead us out.
I'm also going to say Superman
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I think, especially after the direction they took with Henry Cavill's Superman, making and kind of that universe too, making it all very morally gray and pessimistic. I'm excited to see a Superman that actually is like this man of hope with a brightly colored suit that just feels like that Boy Scout that we were talking about. So I'm excited. I think it really is gonna be a real make or break for DC, but also like superhero movies in general. Like if we mess up a Superman movie, I think that says a lot about where we're at with superhero movies.
Yeah. I saw somebody write a video essay that said, I don't think Superman's going to do well because I don't think the values of Superman are true for our culture anymore, which was a pretty dark take on our world and possible still, but it's something to consider. And I think that could be very telling, but also, Superman's Superman. So people are going to see it.
Yeah.
But how many people are going to see it?
Yeah.
The trailer was very hopeful for me.
Oh yeah.
When the newest one, this second one,
I think there's been
so.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, when Lois is like, "Hey, you'll let me interview you as Superman," and then she starts digging into him, and she's like, "Did you consult the president before you flew across borders and represented the United States?" And he was like, "I wasn't representing anyone.
Yeah.
I was me. I was there as myself." And she was like, "Doing what?" And he's like, "People were dying, and I had to go." And I was like, "Oh, this is the Boy Scout thing that Heath's talking about. Like, this is incredible. I could be like really into this." Yeah.
People were kind of upset at that initial interaction at the beginning of the trailer, but the more I've sat on it, and Zach sent me the exact same thing on Instagram a while ago, or today actually, I think, of that responsibility for humanity. And that's sort of the Jesus figure, maybe, ? The savior imagery of being the one to save humans from themselves goes beyond borders.
Yeah. I think, have you guys seen the original Superman movie, the Christopher Reeves?
A long time ago,
Yeah.
So I love the Jor-El figure, Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
In that movie, he's like talking about Superman leading, planet Earth. He's like, they're a good people. They wish to be. They only lack the light to guide them. Yeah. And it's so funny because that is such a Christ model. Like, and I'm not trying to deify Superman, but just to be like, I get it. The one guy who rises up for, this is even confrontational now. Like if I say I'm for truth, justice, and the American way, that can be taken in a broad spectrum right now. Yep. Andrew, like we talked about that when Anthony Mackie was like, I don't want to be called Captain America because I don't, the America thing. Like it's like, but at the same time, it's like if we are for truth, justice, like we should be able to get behind that. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if people are like upset at a Superman movie for being like, I'm for the people. It's like, I don't trust you, It's like, you sound like the haters of Superman right there.
Yeah. Well, we are all looking forward to it. Oh, the other one that I wanted to mention was Now You See Me, Now You Don't, because I am a huge fan of the Now You See Me movies, and the third one is bringing the gang back together after many years. So that's just one I got to throw in. Cool.
Also, Predator Badlands is coming out, so we should probably talk about that.
Need to get caught up on my 80s movies.
Alien and Predator. Yeah.
Alien and Predator. Yeah, it's like they're setting something up. Well, thank you guys for talking tonight. Listener, if you didn't already know, we did an episode with these guys earlier in the month, so go listen on their podcast when we were over there talking about The Wild Robot. We had a lot of fun, talked about all our emotions and our tears that we shed watching that movie. So go check them out, follow them on their socials and on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you listen. Follow us here, share it with a friend, and until next week, know that you're loved. God bless.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks for watching, Mom.